All right, welcome back to the Ja Life channel. I am Ja, and this is the 100-day live guitar practice streams. We are now on day 57. Yeah, 57. I just can't believe how far I've came. So I'm just pretty stoked each time I say out the number that I'm on. I'm like, man, am I really that far? Am I really, you know, coming along that far? So I'm just happy with myself. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining. I greatly appreciate it. Sometimes I have to, take a minute and pat myself on the back, take those small wins. It's building blocks, right? So anyways, thank you all so much for joining my journey. I greatly appreciate that. For anyone who tunes in quickly, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. It's easier to find my content if you do that. So just make sure you subscribe. But as you can see by the title and the thumbnail and things like that, today we're going to get into the CAGED system and then the circle of fifths. So just trying to rep that out a little bit more and pound that into my memory bank. So as always, you know me, I like to challenge you as well. So make sure you pick up the guitar and follow along. Make sure you're, you know, watching and trying to understand, what my hands are doing as I try to explain things. Also, just real quick, make sure you check out the pinned comment below the video. That's where I'll leave like a detailed description of like the layout of the exercise that I'm doing for the day. So on all my videos, make sure you check out the pinned comment. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the CAGED system. So first, we're going to start with the C, right? We're going to CAGED. So let's go ahead and do the C chord. Let me actually forgot to do it again. Tune the guitar. Just want to double check. There it is. Come on, where's that G at? All right. All right. Now we're in tune. Sorry, as I did the arpeggio of the C chord, I could tell that it didn't sound right. And then with the CAGED system, basically, I just want to figure out where are the other spots that I can play the C chord. So you got the C chord here, C, E, and G notes. Then you have C, E, and G notes here. And then you have C, E, and G notes here. This G shape here is the hardest to do, so my chord might not ring out properly. I need a lot of work on those G shapes. All right, then you got it here in the E position. And lastly, you have it here in this D position. So I'm just going to go back and forth playing these C chords in all the different positions using that understanding of the CAGED system. So right here. E. remember, as long as it's C, E, and G notes that ring out, it's a C chord. So hand could look like this, and it's a C chord. Hand could look like this, and it's a C chord. Hand could look like this. It's a C chord. This is a C chord. This is a C chord. All right. So just playing those over and over again. I know the C chord here. I for sure know that one. There's no escaping that one. Here on the 8th fret, starting on the 8th fret at least, with the bar. Since that's your C note here on the top and the bottom, because they're mirrors. So that's how you know. As long as you do your E shape, you got whatever note this is. B chord, D chord, A chord, G chord, C chord. That's a C minor chord though. I want to stay with the majors, so let's do here. G's, I'm not really going to practice a whole lot until I just get quite a bit better at all of the other chords and the bars and things like that. That G shape is just so awkward to me. I don't want to start agitating my wrist already, 8-9 minutes in. So I'm going to skip the G positions. I can do the G position here, the natural one. When you got to start doing it down here with the other fingers and barring a whole step away, that's just a little much for me right now. But I'll do the other ones. right, now we're going to go from the C chord to the A chord. So we've got the A chord here in its natural positioning. So then you ask yourself, okay, great. Now where else can I play that A chord? Well, you could play it here. As long as you're playing A, C sharps, and E's, and you're good. Remember, the G shapes, again, are very hard for me, so I apologize if they're not ringing out very well. But yeah, these G shapes, again, I'm not really going to practice them too much, but I'm just showing you that it's there. But then you do have the E position here. This one's not bad. So you got your natural. You got the G that I'm not going to play. And you got your E. And you got your D shape. E shape. D shape. Sorry if you're starting to get a lot of pickup noise from outside. Sounds like they're doing lawn care in the neighborhood. They're cutting a tree down out back. I don't know. There's a lot going on out there. So my apologies if you're starting to hear some other sounds in this live recording session here. Anyways, we're trying to play those A chords. We know we can play it here. You can play it here if you do that G shape, but I'm not too comfortable with that. But here you got your E shape. So there we go, the A chord. A chord. So again, just using that caged system understanding, that caged knowledge to bounce around and not have to play the C, A, G, E, and D chords right here in this section. But now I can play the C, A, G, E, and D chords, in multiple spots on the neck. So that's all we're doing here. So again, it's an A chord. All of these are A chords right now. I already did the C. I'm working on the A's right now. All of these are A chords, but if you look at my hands, this is in the E positioning right now. This is in the A positioning right now. This is in the G positioning right now. This is in again, the E positioning here. This is in the D positioning here. And then this is in the C positioning here. See how the fingers are making kind of like the C shape, that diagonal line, the same diagonal line that's made here. So that's all we're doing here. We're trying to figure out where else on the guitar can we play those same chords, just with a slightly different pitch. So not playing it on the G. Here's the E position, D position. And just repping them out, right? Not trying to play a song, just trying to get that muscle memory built in. When I'm doing this, I'm playing the C, in different spots. I'm playing the A in different spots. I'm playing the D positioning in different spots. So I'm kind of, getting used to playing these major and minor chords all over the neck. So now I'm going to go into the G. We did C, then we did A. Here we have G in its natural position with the open chords. All right, so then you have G here. So you got G, 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 G. After the E, you get the D positioning. So here's your G. See, I'm in the D position now, but I'm still playing a G chord. Earlier we were playing the C chord down here. Then we started playing the A chord right here. Now we're going to play the G chord right here. So see how the position stays the same. You just got to figure out, do your hands need to be spread further apart if you got to play the note up here, or the chord up here, or if you got to play the chord down here, or your fingers a little closer together. So it's just adapting, but doing this exercise will help you, get that muscle memory and that understanding in your wrist and your fingers and your elbow and things like that of, how to hold a guitar, how to become one with the guitar. So again, we're doing G shapes G chords. Sometimes we'll have to transition into a different shape though. Here's the E shape, but still a G chord. Here's a D shape, but still a G chord. Here's a C shape, but still a G chord. Playing G chords in different ways, using that CAGED system understanding, trying to just get that muscle memory. Just stumbling through these, failing through these, right? It takes a lot of slop, takes a lot of, shit, to be just dead honest. You just gotta, stumble through these things, sound terrible, right? That's what I talk about when I say, give me the thumbs up on the video, no matter what, even if the content isn't the best, even if I'm not shredding songs, still hit the like button just for the courage, right? It's rough. It's embarrassing to get on here and, sound like this, right? But I'm just now learning the guitar. I have to stumble through it. So, but it's a lot of courage to get on here and do this in front of the world who could, potentially stumble on this. This is, public to the entire world. It's not on a private network or private account or anything like that. So, yeah, it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and sound like this for everyone to hear as I'm growing, right? Most people want to do all the hard work in the dark, right? And then shine in the light. Well, I'm putting myself out there and doing even the hardest parts, the very, very beginning stages of guitar, and I'm putting myself out there. So it takes a lot of courage. So thank you to anyone who understands that. I appreciate that. All right, I think we're on the G chord still. You can play it like this if you would like. Here's a G chord. And here's a G chord, a C shape. Back to the D shape. E shape. D shape. C shape. All right, keep stumbling through it, G chords. You're in the D position. Just playing these G chords in different spots on the neck. Now we're going to go into the E chords. E chords, here we go. E, G sharp, and E, G sharps, and Bs. Okay. C shape, but still an E chord. So again, just trying to find out where are the other spots that you can play this E chord, right? You don't just have to play it right here. Using the CAGED system and that understanding, you know that, okay, you can play E chord here, as long as it's E, G sharp, and B notes. You can play it here. This is E, G sharp, and B notes. Okay, and you can play it here. These are E and G sharps and Bs. And then here. And then lastly, you could do it here in this G shape, which I don't like to do because I'm not that good at it yet. It hurts my wrist. So now let's go into the F chords. Or you can't do that because it's not part of CAGED, can you? C, A, G. We just did E. Now let's do D, not F. Let's do D. So you got your D chord here. Then you also have D chord here in the C shape, right? If this is C, well, then this is D. You just got to bar it. So switch back and forth between those two just to get kind of comfortable. I'm repping it out. My hand's used to doing the C shape, but not a C shape with the bar. So doing it down here and over here and over here and over here, doing all these different bars with C shapes, it's eventually going to allow me to be smooth with it in any spot on the neck. Okay, C shape. After that, it's the A shape, D, F sharp, A. C shape, A shape, C shape. There you go. And then in this G position here that I'm not too comfortable with yet. So let's switch on to this E position here. But still a D chord. Needs some more work, but we're getting there. We're just kind of learning these things, kind of just now learning the CAGED system, just a couple weeks ago. So it takes a little while. It takes a lot of repetition. So keep being kind to yourself. Just know that you're growing. If you're putting in, consecutive time each day, being consistent. Maybe one day is 45 minutes. Maybe one day is an hour and 15 minutes, right? It doesn't have to be every single day. It has to be exactly that. No. Consistency is just about getting in there every day, right? Some days you'll be able to give it your all and be able to, give 100%. Some days you can only give 80%, but at least you showed up, right? So that's what consistency is about. It's not being 100% of the time. It's about, just showing up and going through it and putting in the time, and eventually, everything will build on top of each other. So be kind to yourself, keep growing, keep patting yourself on the back, noticing those little wins, when you feel those little accomplishments, be proud of yourself, give yourself credit. So I'm just going to stretch out my hand just a little bit, stretch out my fingers, stretch out my wrist. Some of the exercises I like to do for this, I've always done this, honestly. Well before I played guitar, back when I was a high school athlete and stuff, I've always stretched my wrist like this, pulling all 4 fingers back all at once. I think it's a good pull on this underside of the wrist. And then I'll do the thumb individually. I'll do each finger one at a time. Then I'll do a combination of of 2 fingers. I try to do any combination I can think of 2 fingers. And then I do a combination of like 3 fingers. And I just kind of like switch things up. And then again, back to the full 4 fingers, because all 4 fingers really gets that wrist. And then I like to do, wrist rotations as well. Both directions. And same on this hand as well. Stretching it out. Stretching out those fingers, stretching out the palm, stretching out the wrist. And do some wrist rotations. I need a little food and a nap. I'm thankful for this little bit of time I get off. I graduated just a couple of days ago on May 6th. I got my MBA, my Master's of Business Administration. So I just got that. I have a little bit of time off. I just graduated. It's weird. I just graduated and walked in the ceremony or whatever, shook people's hands, did the whole thing, put on the cap and gown, all that stuff. But I still technically have a summer class. It's my last class. I've got one more. It's the capstone class. So I have that from I don't know the exact dates, but I think it's like early June to like early August. It's like 2 weeks or 2 months. It's a condensed course in 2 months, like 8 weeks, rather than a full on semester. So I do have this class over the summer that I have to knock out, but pretty much just graduated May 6th. So I'm kind of taking this time to rest, get some energy back, all that hard work that goes into studying and going to classes and, doing your best on all the papers and assignments and readings and things like that. So sorry if I'm yawning every now and then. I've been pretty exhausted with school and, family things that are going on. It's been a pretty rough road. Happy to be learning, but going through the family struggles is quite difficult, quite saddening. Very, very heartbreaking tragedy. My story is, if anyone ever heard it or ever knows all the details, oh my gosh, it's saddening. But anyways, so I get on here to relieve my stresses, to keep my brain busy, not thinking about those things, and always laying more bricks to hopefully be something great. All right, so now I've been doing the CAGED system. Now I'm going to hop over, like I stop yawning. Hop over and do the circle of fifths for a little bit. And again, you can just Google it. I'm not doing all the cool graphics and edits right now on these live streams. I'll hopefully do some other videos after I get done with this challenge with edits and graphics and cut scenes and things like that. But right now, just live edit or live raw footage. So just go Google, circle of fifths. I'll probably give you a wheel. You'll just look at it in a clockwise form, starting with the C note. So I'll just say it out for you, but it's C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, D flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, and F. And again, always check the pinned comment down below. I always make my first comment, and then I pin that comment, and it's like a detailed explanation of what I'm doing, the CAGED system, and the doing it in the different positions all over the neck, and the circle of fifths, and what the circle of fifths are. Since I can't do a little pop-up chart here, I just put down in the description that it's C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, blah blah blah. So make sure you check out the pinned comment. That always helps, put, those words with, my verbal words to grasp the whole thing. So check out that pinned comment. Also, just real quick, if you haven't, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but in the corner of the video should be like a little icon of myself, a little portrait or a profile picture. Click on that and then hit subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for subscribing. It's always appreciated to have people subscribing, knowing that the content I'm putting out there is, worthwhile and people are, benefiting from it. So thank you so much. Also leave a comment below. Let me know how I'm doing, or if you have any, feedback, or, if you have any understanding of the CAGED system or the circle of fifths at all, and you want to kind of chime in, give me some feedback or some notes or any advice, I would greatly appreciate that. So please leave a comment below, and also go ahead and boop that like button. So thank you so much. That's all I wanted to say. Now, back into the circle of fifths. So basically, I'm going to start here on the C. And then 5 notes up would be G and D. Actually, let's do it in the CAGED position form. Let's do it in the E pattern. So that way we're practicing these chords all over the neck. C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, D flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, F. C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, D flat, A flat, E flat, F. Again, that's C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, damn it, F sharp, D flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, F. All right, again, with the E positioning here in the bar, E shape in the bar, doing the circle of fifths, just going around it, just trying to kind of pound that in our head. What is the circle of fifths? Oh, okay, it's C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, so on and so forth. See, I'm getting it. I know the first half pretty quickly. I just need to get those flats memorized. And really, it's just a duplication. When you check that pinned comment below, notice the duplication. The D, A, E, B, F duplicates in the same pattern. You just need to know, is it flat or sharp or whatever. But the sequence, repeats, not the C and the G. That doesn't really repeat. But the D, A, E, B, F, that part repeats. So makes it a little easier. C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, D flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, F. Again, C, G, B, A, E, B, F sharp, D flat, A flat. All right. Now we're going to do that same thing, but we're going to pick a different cage position, right? I was just doing all the E shapes, all the E positioning. Let's do, I don't know, let's do the C. Ugh, that's a tough one. Let's do the C positioning. All right, so we're going to go find the C chord. I'm going to go C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, D flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, F. Yeah. C shape's a little more difficult than the E shape. The E shape's pretty nice and relaxing. That C shape, just like the beginner C shape when you very first learned what a C chord was a little difficult. Well, now imagine if you've been playing it like that whole time with the free pinky, and now you actually have to utilize the pinky and use the index finger as a bar. Well, now it's like it's the same shape, but it's different fingers. So, it takes some learning again. So again, always be kind to yourself, always be patient with yourself. Always know just if you're putting in the time, don't be upset with yourself. For example, I owned this guitar for many years before I started this challenge and before I've ever, really taken it serious. I'd pick it up one day and wouldn't touch it for 14 days. I'd pick it up for one day and I wouldn't touch it for a month and a half, just super, super, super inconsistent. So, if you're like I was, of course, I understand. If you get mad at yourself, then it's acceptable, right? I get mad at myself too when I, never even really gave it a true shot. So that's why I'm so proud of myself now, because I am giving it a real shot and I'm getting on here and I'm being consistent and I'm putting in at least 1 hour every single day, even on days where I don't, have time to record or I'm not home or, wherever. Like I just went to a trip to Costa Rica for a friend's wedding. For example, I didn't have all my equipment there and I didn't have the time to, really be recording guitar videos while I was over there enjoying his wedding, then enjoying the beach for a couple of days as well. So, no, but, I'm still thinking about guitar. I'm still thinking about the theory in my head at times, and then on days where I am home, maybe if I'm not in Costa Rica, but I've just had a super, super busy day and I don't have time to record per se, I still pick it up. I do. I'll grab it off the wall and maybe I only have 20 minutes that day. But hey, pick it up, do a little bit, put it away. Maybe didn't get a record, but put in a little bit of time, right? A little bit of time every day. Even if you can only give it, 12% that day. Hey, pick it up for 12 minutes and, put it down. I get it. You're busy, but hold yourself accountable. That's all I'm doing with these YouTube videos, holding myself accountable, right? I've had 100 days on there, 100-day challenge from the very first, video. So if I stop at, any number besides 100, that's proof to the entire world, because this is all public internet stuff, that I'm a quitter. And that's not going to ever happen. I've never been a quitter. So I'm going to get all the way through this, and then I'm going to continue the guitar offline, just not recording, maybe recording every now and then just to show progress phases and things like that, but not every single day. But anyways, that's in another, 40 videos or so. C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, F sharp, there we go. D flat, way up here, the biggest one with the bar. A flat, E flat, B flat, F. Whew, that C shape is pretty difficult. I know the G shape, I can't even really practice it because it just hurts my wrist. But the C shape, I can practice it. It doesn't hurt the wrist, but it's difficult. It's frustrating because I know it sounds terrible, but gotta stumble through it, right? Gotta fail to succeed. That word failure is a poorly misunderstood word. Failing is good. G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, man, D flat, A flat, E flat, F. Yeah, that C position is pretty rough. As you could see earlier, the E position wasn't too bad. That C position is a little rough. The G position, that's going to take a while. But it's important to practice these other shapes. The C shape, A shape, G shape, E shape, and D shapes, those caged positions. It's important to practice them all over the neck. So that way, rather than having to play the A chord here all the time, you can play the A chord here. And you just don't know that, not just have the knowledge that, yeah, you can play it there, but no, you're actually doing it with your hands. So that way you're building that muscle memory. You're building that true understanding, that true bond with the guitar. So it's important to practice it all over the neck, even if it's, in choppy sounding, practices like this and not songs. It's important to go through those you're training your ear, you're training your muscles to, have that, basically the muscle memory. So anyways, that was a crash course on some cage system and the circle of fists. That's going to be a wrap for today. Again, today was day 57. Yeah, day 57. So pretty stoked about that. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining me. I greatly do appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, click on the subscribe button in the corner. That's greatly appreciated. Comment below. Get a community of like minds speaking. And then also boop the like button just to help a friend out. That's greatly, greatly appreciated for all the time, effort, energy, money, courage, all the different things that go into this. It's greatly appreciated. If you hit that like button, keeps the algorithm moving. Also, if you like the content, please click on these floating videos here to continue watching more of my content. This is the entire catalog of the 100 days that I'm building, and this is the subsequent video in the series. So make sure you check those out. And then last but not least, until next time, just take care of yourselves and each other. Remember that I love you always. Peace out. Take care.